What's the purpose of reindeer? It makes the grass grow, sweetie. Today I might sound a little bit run down or upset or like glaring off into Neverland because I'm just so embarrassed I'm gonna have to do this because I don't want to do this. I don't. I'm going to be reviewing Origin by Jennifer L. Amentrout, which I received in the mail the day after it came out and finished within a day, to a lot of my teachers' surprise, because new teachers don't know a lot about me. They don't know I can read a book like this in 4 hours. I really wanted to give this a good rating, but I couldn't. I was still so excited, got this in the mail, I screamed, I tore the package open, and then started reading and was gravely upset. So here I am on the floor of my bedroom with my fan on me because, as I say every video, it is hot in Texas. We begin. Some of these points might not be spoilery and some of them might, so I'm just gonna say, if you haven't read this book, if you don't know what's gonna happen, if you don't keep up with the Luxon series, just take your bags and walk. These are in no particular order, I just marked things down as I noticed them, so I'm just gonna start complaining because I really don't have very much good things to say about this. I only gave this 2 stars, I don't know if I've said that already. Let's just talk about it. So the first note that I made was that the plot turned into something that the rest of the series was not. And this, what I mean by this is that for the whole, I don't know if you can see these up here, but I have the whole series on an upper shelf right here, and I loved these to death. I loved the setting, how it was a small town. I loved the fact they were neighbors. I thought it was just fantastic all in all. And then we changed into something where it was like they were in a different location, they had different motives. It was just, I don't know how to explain it in a short amount of time, but everything changed, and that might have been inevitable, but I didn't like it. I think I'll be explaining more what I mean by this as I go through the video, so if you don't understand at all what I'm talking about, I will kind of broaden what I'm talking about. So let's just, you know what, let's move on. One huge thing that I noticed that wasn't in any of the other books was that this was really sexualized. I know Jennifer Amentrout is now a new adult author, which I've never read any of her new adult stuff because I've never had the interest to, because honestly, I'm a 16-year-old. I might be mature, but I'm not mature enough for that genre. So whenever it got to scenes where it was just excruciatingly intimate, I was like, and usually I'm mature about it. I don't even care. Like, I will read a scene and I'll be fine with it. But you could tell that it was getting really raunchy, more so than the rest of the series. A huge part it had was that it was in Damon's perspective also, and I'm a bit of a girl, obviously, and whenever I read something like that in a guy's perspective, it's kind of uncomfortable. Like, I don't even want to have to give you an example because that's going to be the most awkward thing I do in life, but it's like, I saw her and she was so beautiful and that bum in those jeans was just, I don't have the mentality to think like that. And I know it's kind of like sexist for me to say because not all books are in girls' perspectives, but it's not the book that I wish it would have been if it were in Katie's perspective only. But besides Damon's perspective, it was still like really out there. Going from that, I just felt like Katie and Damon changed, and this is basically due to because now they're literally like connected at the hip. Like, we love each other so much. I was so annoyed that they were so in love, and they were not the characters I remember them to be, because I was half the time irritated or disgusted or just angered by their actions and words. It was not, I fell in love with Damon Black because he was sassy, but he still somehow had a way where he was supportive and nice and funny, and that's why I loved him. But in this book, every other word out of his mouth is a threat. Every other word out of his mouth is him, like, being dirty to Kat. Every other word out of his mouth is not something that I would want my boyfriend or my favorite fictional character to be saying. Katie was a lot better. Katie pretty much stayed the same throughout the series, so I can't really say anything bad about Katie. Now that I think about it, it was Damon. I don't want to keep blaming it on Damon, but this book literally sucked because half what Damon did was just ridiculous. For like the first half of this book, I was sighing and groaning because it was so corny. And I'm talking about the first half when they're not even together. It was just saying so many weird phrases. Like something would happen and it'd be like, sweet Jesus, born in a manger on a donkey's back going to Bethlehem. And it was all these like outbursts that were supposed to be like sarcastically funny that were just stupid. This is a really bad example, but it's like I launched myself at him like some kind of a ninja, a really lame ninja because he easily dodged my attack. Like, that's corny to me, and it happens so often. It doesn't even... I was so done. And she references herself as a ninja like 5 times. It's like, you don't need to do that. Getting tangibly angry. Getting tangibly angry. I'm gonna hop back on over to Damon's perspective because can we just point out how much of a failure that was? I'm sure some of you liked seeing into his mind, and I might just be butthurt about the whole ordeal, but I couldn't put myself into his shoes, and I know I should probably understand, but it wasn't just that what he did and said were things that I don't like, it's that she couldn't write in his perspective. I don't know how to explain it now that I'm talking about it, but you couldn't connect the events happening, and it was Katie would do and say something in her perspective and you'd be like, yeah, let's do that. But then Damon would think or do or say something and you'd be like, why are you even... I couldn't understand his mentality about the things that were happening. I felt like it was corny. One of my biggest freaking pet peeves in this book. This has happened several times in this series, and in the first 3 books, it was occasional. It was poking fun. He would say something suggestive and then she would either blush or do something and then he'd turn around and be like, are you thinking dirty thoughts, kitten? And it's like, oh yeah, that was cute, yeah, because he's just being teasing. No, he does that like 10 times in this book, and it's like, it turns into a blame game because he would be like, yeah, you're so hot, then like make some really disgusting joke and then she'd be like, ew, and he's like, oh, are you thinking something nasty? Oh, you're so disgusting. And it was really immature, and I was like, can you not? And I just wanted to point out, I ship Archer and what's-her-face, Katie now. Yeah. I seriously loved Archer so much more. I think seeing like a really rowdy, sassy, mean, funny, weird character in comparison to a very calm and statured character, it was just, I liked the reserved, kind one more. Had Archer not existed, I doubt they would have gotten out of there, let's be honest. So, for the first, like, 3/4 of the books, where are the Aram? I was very confused because after all, it was the Aram that captured Katie, and I was like, how do you get from the bad aliens to Area 51? Like, apparently the Luxon are like the bad breed of the world and they're trying to get rid of them, or I don't even know what the dealio is anymore, but there was a disconnect. It was like the plot, like I was saying, the first point I had, the plot was so much different. It's like it literally changed without any warning, and it was so weird to go from we're capturing you because you're a bad person to we're capturing you because we need you to do something for us. Like, oh my gosh, the ending. What? I'm not talking about the actual like last 5 pages ending. I'm talking about the whole Las Vegas thing. How do you recover from that? I know that's an answer that's going to be in the 5th book, obviously, but it's just, that was so absurd. I'm waiting for her to be like, and then I woke up from my dream. That's ruining the whole book because now they expose themselves to the humans. How are they going to live normally ever again unless they, like, fly up to their home planet, which Katie would die? I honestly can't think of any way this series is going to end now. The only reason I want to read the 5th book is just because how do you recover from that? In any fantasy book, like Twilight with the vampires, it's against the law to reveal yourself. Any book, you can't tell humans, mundanes, you can't tell them what you are. You can't show them what you are. That's that's not something humans are supposed to know. So for you to go and show them carelessly because you don't want to die, that was lame and cowardly. Again, I hit this topic earlier, but I'm going to mention it again because now I have something else to say about it. I think every action-packed series hits a point where the romance becomes so overpowering. The love between two characters becomes pretty much too much, and it just kind of ruins the story. We hit that point. This whole book was about, I love you, we have to make sacrifices, I love you so much, why are you doing this? Because I love you, and it's... I was thoroughly disgusted half the book because they were so caught up in their love for each other, they kind of ignored everything else in the world. Which, yeah, it's so cute, oh my god, no. I think the biggest pet peeve, or like, it's not even a pet peeve, I'm physically angry about this. They went and got married in Vegas. I don't have words to say how freaking stupid that is. Who does that? Like, oh yeah, we're 18 now, we can go get married in Vegas while we're here. Like, who does that? Edward and Bella were freaking 17 and got married. Not in Vegas. Like, it was so stupid. If you're gonna have them be in love, just have them kiss a couple times. We don't need the whole shebang we went through. Oh my gosh, it was so stupid. And then whenever they're like about to die and they're leaving really fast, she's like, but our wedding papers. It was just terrible. Then they kept it a secret from people. Like, it was a joke. I was like, are you serious? I'm gonna end on that note because I really have no idea what else to say. I'm trying to say something positive about this, but I literally can't. Like, okay, I think Archer was the only good thing about this book. Ooh, I just thought of another good thing. Blake died. That was fantastic. My verdict on the Lux series, officially, it has gone downhill. If you're wanting to read the series, then I'm recommending just stick with the first 3. Before I get too worked up, I'm gonna leave, so thank you for watching. If you agreed with anything I said, then let me know. If you disagreed, if you gave this book 5 stars, that would also be nice to hear because I feel like I'm being really hard on it because, like I said, I wanted to love this. I wanted to give this 5 stars. I wanted to be excited about the cliffhanger, but I honestly don't care about this series anymore. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.